How's it going, everybody? This is Derrick Schommer from Common Man Cocktails. I just wanted to give you guys a status update on what's going on with the show, just so everybody knows and is clear, and they didn't watch last week's videos where we alluded to it. I think we came out right and said it. I did give my notice at work, so that's interesting. My last day is going to be the 30th of March or 31st, depending on how many days there are in March. I had to make that decision because it was really, for my mental state, it was one or the other. Just eventually I'm going to get burned out. It's been tough the last couple weeks, knowing that I'm going to be leaving in 15 days, and work has been a little bit more stressful than normal, on top of having to do a lot of transition stuff and get out of this role that I'm in that never really enjoyed as much as some of the old roles I used to have at the company. My passion has always been software development. Then something happened, something clicked 7-8 years ago where I really started getting into this whole public speaking and talking thing. I've done a lot of presentations, and in the sales role I do presentations in front of hundreds of people, in front of customers, and I like the speaking aspect. I just don't like the job. I've got a lot of jobs here. I've got awesome drinks. I have to do inventory management. I have to do ordering. I have to do processing. My wife will do the packing, and I help with the packing. I have to, file broken items when they break, contact the vendors. I have to find new vendors. I have to make these partnerships. It's a lot of work alone. And then on top of that, I've got Common Man Cocktails, which is a pretty cool show, I think, and I think all of our fans like it, and we're continuing to grow. I know I've put a call out to get some ambassadors, and I haven't been able to follow through on that yet. That kind of comes in part of this transition, this stress I'm having at the moment. By April, I'm going to be full-time content creator. That means I'm going to be able to spend more time with products, with cool techniques to come up with. I'm working on a sous vide cocktail infusion right now. I'd like to do just tons of different opportunities, go through the Liquid Intelligence book and just execute on some of the techniques in there, build my own custom bitters, show you guys how to do all this, provide all kinds of cool value. In the meantime, I'm also, making call outs to people to support us. We've had a whole bunch of new Patreon subscribers just in this month alone. Scott Dietweiler, Michael, Brian Gift, Juha all came on this month. And if we get more of that, it's going to make my life easier. What I did to get to where I am is I've always been more into the startup mentality, the smaller company. I am not at a small company right now. And I took $50,000 of my own investment, my own money that I have in savings, and which I'm kind of envisioning would be part of what I'd have to pay college tuition for my kids and whatever. And I said, let's invest that in myself, in the show, because I can't accelerate the show any harder having the full-time job and everything else to juggle. So this gives me the opportunity to open up new areas, a new cocktail series, the pay-for cocktail series for those that want to know how to grow their own bar, starting with vodka and building out a lot of the classics, understanding why they're classics, the history behind them. All of that filming I'm doing with Ian. With my wife, I'm creating a home cocktail menu series where you will be able to download custom cocktails that my wife has invented. She's up to like 28 or 30 right now, and a book, and almost the second book is done. That's being held up for web design, me having to do the forward and some of the photos and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm gating because I just don't have the cycles right now, the time to be able to do it. That's all going to change, and that leads to multiple streams of revenue. For me, and most people who have a single job, if you ever get laid off, fired, or whatever, you have no more money coming in. My goal to avoid that type of situation is Common Man Cocktails makes about $7,000 in just ad rolls that you see on the screen. I'm going to be, I have other ways of making money. I've got my direct donations, everydaydrinkers.com/donate. I have Patreon subscribers. I've got sponsors such as TGI Fridays this week, the Floberg Muddlers this week, the Soldado Tequila. They've got an on-running one where we'll be doing 3 cocktails with their product. These are all products that I believe in. And one of the reasons that I don't make a ton of money on the show today is because it takes a long time to build these relationships. I build relationships before I build sponsors. I need to know what you're about, why you're doing it, and is there anything in it that I'm passionate about? Because if I'm not passionate about your product, it's going to be really hard to to sell your product, because it's just going to be like, hey, this is Starbucks. Nobody cares, right? I need to be invested in their product just as much as they're invested in their product, so that I can get you guys to enjoy the product. So to get to that level, I have to provide you value. For instance, I just put out a newsletter all about muddling. There's a currently for this week a 30% off the Floberg muddler, which we've used in the show. You can look up. It's called the Treacle cocktail, and you'll find that Antonella was on that episode. And in muddling it's coming up. It's about time for mojito season around here, and I think it's important for people to understand how to muddle. So the first thing I did in my newsletter is explain what muddling is, how to do it right, how not to do it wrong, and in that, providing that value, I gave out this 30% off coupon, and I'm going to be doing it for you here since I'm talking to you today. If you want to get the Floberg muddler, you can purchase it on Amazon. It'll cost you $12.97. If you click the link below, they're going to give you a coupon code. It's a CMC coupon code because it's a CMC URL that will give you the 30% off, putting it at $9. Plus you get your Prime shipping. It's going to be a high-end muddler that you might not have today if you have a muddler at all, and it could become your preferred muddler. So for $9, it's worth the chance to find the next coolest muddler. Besides that, the Floberg people are like, hey, we'd love to do something CMC specific. My wife has been using this to make all those cocktails I just told you about. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have like 9 muddlers over there. I even sell one at Awesome Drinks, and she chose this one. So that told me there's something in this muddler, because she could put her hand on any of these to muddle her fruits, her basils, her mints, but she chose this one. It shows me that there's value in this product, especially at the discount. There's value in me giving you guys a discount on it, and there's value for the Floberg people to be able to get the exposure. It works for everybody. So what I want to do on Common Man Cocktails is always provide you guys with some type of value. You guys provide me with views, and that helps me succeed and helps me be able to make a decision that I'm making to quit my job and become a content creator on YouTube, and all these other businesses I'm working on. All of those are only because you guys decided to watch the show, comment, support. And you know what? The commenting is the most important to me, because I get to see the input and see the reaction to what you guys are saying. So your comments are what feeds me to continue to produce more videos, that lets me sit at that computer and edit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours to create a week's worth of content, because I know you guys are going to enjoy it, you're going to consume it, you're going to share it, you're going to like it, and that's awesome. So, thanks everybody for the Patreon support overall. Thanks everybody for the Patreon support this month. Your views do help. Your comments are awesome. If you have to pick a direction to go, you can always use our Patreon or directly donate to us, because it's 100% going into my pocket as opposed to 50% from the store, since we have to buy product to sell you. So if you're looking for different ways, if you need to know, you could just ask me what's the best way to give me money. I will explain it to you. It's not hard. The goal is having a little bit of money trickling in from a lot of sources, and that I think is going to be my business model for success. But all of that is relying on you guys to continue to enjoy the show, which puts the responsibility back on me to create content that you guys think is epic and awesome. So part of that full-time job is to make sure I can get you more soapbox edit cuts, some more highlight videos, more crazy different ways of making cocktails, a lot of different science projects that I'm working on to be able to provide you guys with something cool to take home and be able to produce at home to become better at the craft. If I can make you better at the craft, and you guys can make me a viable full-time guy that runs his own businesses, then that symbiotic relationship is epic. And so again, thanks everybody for taking the time to watch the show, watch this video, subscribe to our show, and continue to give us that type of support. It's awesome. All right, we're teaching you how to drink, at least tomorrow.